the goal there, remember, is to generate leads for your sales process, right?
Yeah.
So you're generating leads. You're just sending out direct messages to your ideal prospects. You can go in there and you can find them either by hashtags, or you can go through different networks of people. So for example, if you work with a lot of people like Billie Jean, you can go through Billie Jean's followers or who he's following, and you can go through that list of people, and you could do research or have somebody do research on your behalf to go through each individual account to see who that person is and what they do, to see if they're a good person to send a message to, and then just send them a simple direct message. But to that point, this is what most people don't understand, is it's not the direct message that makes money. It's the credibility that makes money. Because you could send a direct message to somebody, but if you don't look believable and they don't know who you are, they're never going to give you their cell phone number. The first pillar is creating that audience and the following. Now, the second pillar to build that brand, and remember, we're talking about branding and credibility first, which is getting known and credibility. And then the direct message comes from the advertising side. Yep. So the second pillar of creating that brand is content through the Instagram and the Facebook stories. And then the third pillar to create the brand is content through the wall posts. The second part is posting out on your Instagram stories. The third part's on the wall, just on the Instagram stories.
Okay.
Just Instagram stories. Let's start with that. You want to post out, I would say, 6 times a day at least.
Jiminy Christmas. 6 times a day?
Yeah, well, easily. Now, remember, we're talking about a story that only lasts for 24 hours. So
okay.
That's gone in 24 hours.
Okay. And what should you be posting 6 times a day?
Yeah, good question. So there's 3 different pieces of content. There's personal, professional, and lifestyle content. So you want to vary it out between those 3 different pieces of content. So this right now, this is a perfect piece of professional content because it's bringing value to your audience. So that's a perfect example of a piece of a professional piece of content, right?
Got it.
Promoting your products, services, what you do, case studies, testimonials, all that stuff. Personal is, if you want to do personal, it could be sharing emotional based stories, connecting with somebody as a person rather than just as a logo, right? Because in today's world, people don't want to do business with logos. They want to do business with people. And the last one is lifestyle. So lifestyle is just documenting the life that you live. It's your lifestyle. It's what you do. So like for me, I like to go outside. I like to hang out with my friends. I like to, go ride my quad. I like to play sports, work out. Like that's what I like to do. Not everybody likes to do that. Some people do. It doesn't matter. The point of the matter is that's the content that you would be posting for that third part.
Got it. Okay. So 6 times a day on the stories for Instagram and Facebook, and then you have to do a wall post. Why the difference between the stories versus the wall?
Great question. Yeah, that's a really good question. And what it is, the difference is the wall post is the highlight reel. The wall post is permanent. It does not go away. The stories last for 24 hours. So it's temporary. And that's the stories is to drive traffic and to be a little bit more intimate, because since it's only lasting 24 hours, those stories are live. You're not really supposed to edit them too much when you're posting something, unless it's a already pre-existing photo. Right. But the wall post, that's the highlight reel. That is the face of your brand and yourself and your company in the eyes of your customers and clients, because it's never going away. It's the first thing people look at after they look at your audience, and it's going to stay there forever. Yeah. You only have to do it. I mean, it depends where somebody's starting off. If they're just creating a brand new page and they've never done anything before, then definitely they should just throw a lot of content on there. Have at least 30 or 40 or 50 pieces of content. So when people are looking at your page from a direct message that they see, or an ad, or an event, or when you're speaking, or when you're calling, whatever it is, wherever the traffic's coming from, when they come back and they're going to do research, they have enough content to actually see if they're the real deal or not, So
how do you mix in business pages? Because this is an interesting concept, because I'm crazy. And I've got my personal, Facebook, my personal Instagram, then we have the business page, then we have the business, then we have LinkedIn, and all these different channels to post socially. And sometimes I'm not sure what should go where. Does that make sense? So if you're listening right now, you'll learn a little bit about, having virtual assistants do a lot of marketing for you. Every video that we ever do, every conversation that I ever have, every appointment it's all recorded, and then we repurpose that content and put it everywhere in the world. So this is going to be a podcast, man. You're on our podcast, as well as on our webinars, as well as on our blogs, as well as in an email, as well as, so we do a repurpose.
Just on Instagram, I have
Yep.
a personal page on my Instagram page, and then I got a business page. So
Yep.
all of my promotion goes through my personal page. So for example, this is my Instagram page, right? So if you go to my Instagram page here, this is where I do all my promotion, right? So you'll see all my stories. This is driving traffic. I have hundreds and thousands of people that see this every time. So it's traffic, it's eyeballs, it's attention, and it's building the brand, getting known, and building credibility. This is all my wall posts that I was talking about here. And to answer your question about the business page, right here in my bio, I have my business page tagged. So if somebody presses right here, this is my business page on Instagram. So I have a ton of content out there. I have 5,000 plus followers on there. So it's a lot. It's credible. It shows them I'm the real deal, but I don't do any promotion on here. All this is here to create that brand and get known.
So on your business page, you're not promoting at all?
I don't.
Interesting.
I don't.
Let me ask you a question. How do you focus? What do you do with the calls to actions? Like when you're, let's say you're having a great month and you're pushing your team, but you need $10,000 more to hit the goal, right? And you got 5 days left at the end of the month. What do you do on social media to really drive or monetize all of those followers and eyeballs that are there right now?
Yeah, it's something that is really fun to experiment with. And for me, when I want to drive revenue, something like that, it's just all about promotions and promotional offerings. So that's where you just have to be creative, and you have to figure out how can you position a product or service that just seems like a no-brainer that somebody has to pick up. Since I have enough followers on my page, I now have a large enough people that I can pitch my services to every day. So it's just like being on a webinar, being on a stage. When you have the opportunity to pitch in tens and hundreds of thousands of people, there's so many eyeballs that will see it. All you got to do is just match the right offer with the right person. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do, and I do a lot of this too, is I'll take the people that are on my social media and I'll funnel them offline, just like this. I'll host podcasts or masterminds or virtual summits or webinars, and then I'll take those people and say, hey, if you want free access to this summit coming up, or if you want access to this podcast or whatever it is, shoot me a DM with your email and I'll get you over that. And I'll have so many people that will come to my webinars or my podcast, my masterminds, literally just by funneling that traffic over. Then I'll use that podcast as content, which elevates my credibility even more, and then is also giving value to my audience. So now they're more engaged because they're like, oh, wow, I'm actually learning something from this. This is cool. If they didn't come to the podcast, or even if they did. Like all of these things that I'm saying and recommending everybody do, I don't do any of it. None of it.
Okay.
Just like you, I don't have the time to do it. The only thing that I do is I put out Instagram stories, which takes 5 minutes a day. I don't post out my content. I don't send out direct messages. I don't do the captions. I don't film that. I don't do any of those things.
What do you actually say when you're direct messaging? And I want you to end with that, because I think that, you'll help the audience get over that nervousness. Like, I don't know if I want to ask for business in a direct message. Like, what's the process that you go through to help somebody get over that nervousness or scared? I'm thinking of my insurance broker, my healthcare company. I'm thinking of all these small, medium-sized businesses who've never really done this kind of work before. What advice would you give them as we wrap up?
One of the ideas that I really learned about social media that really helped me is just understanding it in a really simple and basic form. All social media is online networking. That's all it is. It's like being at a networking event with all of your ideal customers, and you have the opportunity to have a conversation with them. So think about when you meet somebody in person. What do you normally say to somebody when you meet them in person? If you're at an event or something like that, you just introduce yourself. Hey, how's it going? I'm Matt here. Just want to say, hey, how's it going? I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. Right. But when it's on social media, you could just word it a little bit differently. What I say when I'm sending out my direct messages and when we have our team send them out, I just say on behalf of my account, hey, how's it going? I'm Matt. Just saw your page here and wanted to get connected. Really casual, really casual. Then once somebody responds, then what I'll say is something super basic or simple. Hey, it's great to connect with you. By the way, I have some ideas that I would love to run by you. What's the best number to text you at? Hey, by the way, I have some ideas I'd love to share with you to expand your reach on social media. What's the best number to text you at? Then once they respond, they'll send back their cell phone number. Now I got a lead. Now they're going into my sales process. And
Got
now
it.
what I do on the flip side is I text them from my phone. I just say, hey, how's it going? It's Matt from Instagram. What's going on? Or just something casual like that. They'll respond. I say, awesome. When's the best time for you to have a call? Are you free later today, or is tomorrow easier? I'm looking forward to talking with you. And then they'll respond. We'll plant the appointment, and then we'll go into the sales process.
What do you do when somebody doesn't accept your direct message and you know they're an ideal client or an ideal fit and you really want to work with them because you see the opportunity bringing your service or product to that particular person?
Yeah, I just move on to the next. I mean, I don't even see when people respond or not, because I'm not even the person that's sending them. Like
Okay.
I'll have some people on my team send out those messages. But in all reality, if you're sending out 20 or 25 messages a day, depending upon how credible your brand is and how many people know you, that's going to be a predicator in terms of
Yep.
how many people to respond to you.
That's
So if
right.
someone's just starting out, they're really only going to have, probably out of 25 messages, like 6 people responding, 5 people
Yeah.
responding. That's really it.
Right.
It's just a
Right.
numbers game. And the higher and the more credible and the more people that know who you are on social media and in general, just in life, more people know who you are and trust who you are, the more messages that people are going to actually respond to.
Matt Buchanan, thank you. Pioneers of marketing. I just want to repeat this. If you're interested in getting his free social media evaluation, the number is 908-914-1888. We get nothing for you guys if you decide to move forward. We just want to make sure people have the tools necessary, especially in this world where everybody's digital now, right? So Matt, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a great client and really sharing some love with our people today.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. And thank you for bringing me in front of your audience, for trusting me to be able to come on here, for allowing me to literally, when I first started talking with you, I was completely by myself. I had nobody on my team. You guys literally took me under your wing. Daniel, you probably spent multiple hours on phone calls and Zoom calls just like this. And you did not have to do that just to literally help me build out that process. And I'm very grateful for that and grateful for everything you helped us with. I'm being serious when I say that.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's our pleasure. One of our core values is just servant's heart. Our job is to serve, and people like you will have great lives, and then you're going to refer people to us, and it's just symbiotic relationship. When we do good work, it comes back. And so, again, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you, and thanks for sharing how to monetize with direct message on social media.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.